It's time for another 1 minute story review, and today we're going to be looking at Final Fantasy III, originally for the Famicom. I'm going to start by saying Final Fantasy III is a very enjoyable game. It's the one that introduced the job system in the way that we know it in future entries in the series. That being said, when it comes to the main series and most of the side games, it is probably the weakest story. Now, I am talking about the original version because it's the one that I played. I didn't actually play the DS one that I showed at the start of this. You start the game as 4 orphan children. An earthquake opens up a cave that you begin to explore and eventually find the Wind Crystal. The Wind Crystal deems you the new Warriors of Light and you get the first jobs to select. You then go about the game seeing various set pieces, helping out individual kingdoms and little towns and stuff like that. There are a lot of neat things that happen. Like in one of the first areas, you are forced to cast Tiny on yourself so you can enter the gnome village and speak to the gnomes. You soon find out that the initial map of the game is a floating island that you eventually break off of. And there's a really memorable part where you get stuck in between two warring kingdoms. And if it sounds like none of these things are connected, they're really not. And that's where the problem comes in. Everything's really compartmentalized, so each area just feels like its own area with very few exceptions. Even by the end, you unfortunately have no real connection to the big bad, the Cloud of Darkness. She's just a force of nature that's become too powerful, so you have to stop her, otherwise she takes over both worlds. That's not to say I don't love this game, because I do love it. The job system's really fun, the areas are fun to explore on their own, but when it comes to the overarching story, if you're looking for a Final Fantasy game that gives you that, this isn't the one. That being said, it is a great entry into the series, and I would recommend playing this over 2, because it's far less clunky.